Stardew Valley's best player made the hardest mod ever created. Haboo, along with his friend Tyler, turned the game into a real roguelike, and it's just as insane as you think. The bosses are beyond hard, and you have to carefully plan out how you're gonna spend your money. Last time, I was only able to get down to floor 17, but that was far from my goal. My goal was to beat the creator of Stardew Valley, Concerned Ape himself, who had a record at 47 floors. So I stayed up for hours and hours until it was nearly 1 in the morning, determined to get a run that rivaled the great Concerned Apes. And after all that grinding, I finally got the most incredible run. A run touched by both God and Satan that was both blessed and cursed at the same time, creating one of the most tense and insane experiences I've ever had in Stardew Valley. Here is that run. If you haven't heard anything about the roguelike mod, here's how it works. You progress down an altered version of the mines that focuses entirely on combat. Each floor has a set number of enemies that you must kill. Once they're all dead, you're permitted access to the next floor. This all leads up to a boss floor in which you must, obviously, slay the boss. Throughout the floors, you're given gold ore to spend at shops for different upgrades, like boots, new weapons, and food to keep you alive. It's your job to carefully spend your money to survive to the next boss. Because of the nature of this mod, I decided to focus entirely on daggers, as their single target potential is highly deadly in this mod. As such, in the very first floor shop, I pick up the crystal dagger and head on to the next floor. After a couple floors of typical monster slaying, I come across one of the various challenge floors of this run. For this one specifically, you have to slay all the monsters on the floor in under 60 seconds for a reward. I go through the floor as quickly as I can, even taking damage on purpose at times in order to more quickly advance. And boy, is it worth it. For my efforts, I am blessed with a gift from the high heavens, the broken trident. The reason I'm so happy about getting the broken trident is because this is several leagues above our current dagger. This weapon can carry us all the way to the third boss on floor 17, so getting it on floor 4 is huge. After picking up the trident, I went down to floor 5 to fight the first boss of the run, Goobins. Have you ever eaten sprinkles with nothing else, like just sprinkles? It's good. Alright, I've never streamed this late. People start saying some strange things. Dude, that was insane. That was insane. I've got like no money though, but it's fine. I got the trident. What could I possibly spend money on? Looking to level up? I am. Acrobat. The reason I'm so happy here is because Acrobat is by far the best perk you can get. I guess I should explain the perk system in general here. At every shop, if you talk to Gil, he will give you the choice between one of 2 perks. These are generally small buffs meant to help you on your run. Stuff like move 10% faster, food restores more health, etc. Acrobat is far and away the best perk you can get on any build, but especially daggers. The rapid fire special attack of the dagger is extremely strong, so being able to perform that twice is basically broken. Unfortunately, despite my blessings, I wasn't given much money at this shop, so I'm only able to buy 1 life elixir and then just keep on heading down. It's no surprise that I'm able to blaze through these next couple floors, as a combo of my trident and acrobatics easily slice through every gelatinous creature lying in my path. So shortly after, it was on to the second boss of the run, Ark, the Skeleton Mage. And I hate this guy. His patterns are so annoying, so you have to be listening for freaking sound cues in order to beat him. Things did not go so easily with him. Let's go! We got this. Dodge, dodge, duck, dive. Oh, hit him with the special. Boom, boom, run away, boom, boom. He shoots a little. Then he has his little green attack, run, boom. Then I go, bam. My fatal flaw in Stardew is that I'm not able to quickly use the hotbar. I'm like, I think it's because I have really small hands, as was pointed out to me recently. So it's hard for me to be on the WASD and like reach for 3. So like I have to like, I usually just like manually click it. And the scroll wheel is inaccurate and frustrates me. Oh, that was embarrassing. Yeah, I was bound to get hit by something there. There was a lot going on. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. That was dumb. That was dumb. That was dumb. I know it was dumb. I know it was dumb in my heart. Come on, we can't throw the broken trident acrobat run. Oh, he set the perfect trap. Come on. No! I'm not going out that easy. By the skin of my teeth, I had made it through this fight, barely hanging on with 0 food items left. Luckily, I've been able to practice this fight extensively, as I've gotten so many runs to fail at a future boss who is nearly impossible to kill. But we'll get to him later. For now, it was time to reap my spoils at this shop. I head over to Gil, who gives me a choice between 2 tough options, discount or scout. Both are like medium good. Having cheaper shops would be really nice, but since I'm running a dagger build, the extra critical strike chance would go a long way. I decided to go for the riskier option and pick Scout. At the shop, there's sadly no Vampire Ring, which is largely considered to be the saving grace of any run, as having the ability to restore health from each enemy you kill makes basically all non-boss enemy floors a joke. I take 2 Iridium Milks, which expand my health by 25 points each, grab some life elixirs, and then I continue on down. Okay. Oh my god, do you see how that sound has affected me, guys? Do you see the effects that sound has had on me? It's not good. With some light traumatization fueling me, I head down to floor 14 and encounter the optional mini-boss Chateau. Chateau is the only optional boss of the entire run, but should you choose to fight him, you're rewarded with a prismatic shard. This sells for a whopping 2,000 G, so it's very much worth your time. Chateau's attack pattern is relatively easy to master. He'll shoot a bunch of attacks at you, and then for his final attack, spew out a tiny blue fireball. If you swing at this with your sword, you can whack it back at him. Eventually, he makes the arena smaller and smaller, making dodging at the end very difficult. But luckily, due to my insane gamer skills, I was able to easily outmaneuver these fireballs and pick up the elusive prismatic shard. And just like that, we've made it down to the 3rd boss, Telesto, the Full Moon. If you watched my last video on this, you'll know this is where I had my first ever run wiped to. But I've learned from my mistakes, and this time I've come equipped with plenty of food. I won't let this run die out the same way that one did. Telesto is probably the boss that requires the most straight focus of any other boss in the game. He spews all these blasts that bounce around the screen infinitely, which means keeping a constant eye on every single projectile, all while trying to attack the boss. And in addition to that, he's also got a lightning strike that can do massive damage to you if you get hit by it. Awesome. However, I've had the privilege to practice on him a lot due to that future boss I mentioned who's killed me so many times. Don't worry, we will get to him soon enough. Because of that, I've got the attack patterns nailed down pretty hard, and I'm able to defeat Telesto while only healing once. Which is huge, because now on the following floor, I won't have to buy any food, giving me a ton more money to work with. However, I can have all the money in the world, but when you get horrible shops like this, it's worth nothing. The floor 18 shop is probably the most important one in the game, as it's where you start to be offered endgame equipment. The kingpin for us being the Iridium Needle, the best dagger in the game, and the Vampire Ring. Neither of these options are offered to me at the shop, so I'm instead forced to grab the Galaxy Dagger. If you don't know, this is the Galaxy Sword's dagger equivalent, so it's not bad, but it's leagues worse than the Needle. I take my newfound dagger down, and on the very next floor, I'm giving a dwarf sword from a chest, which is by no means the best sword in the game, but it's very strong and will be a great crowd control option to work in tandem with my single target dagger build. I take my new sword and head down to the next floor, hopeful of getting some easy floors to hold me over to the next boss. That does not happen. Why the frick do you do this to me, man? Just when we have a good thing going, you go ahead and ruin it. This is far and away the worst floor in the entire mod. It's a tower defense style level where you have to stay in this small blue square and defend the zone from a horde of volcano enemies. Which, might I add, are just about the most insanely difficult enemies in the game. And these stupid fire wisps makes me want to claw my eyes out. On top of all this, my dagger is terrible for dealing with these huge crowds of enemies. This could very easily be the end of the run. I go into my first loading zone and... Nice, okay. That wasn't too hard. Okay, it's the down one. I did not mean to start that. I wanted to kill this thing first. Okay, this was... you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything until I'm out of this hellhole. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened in these first 2 zones, but they were like completely barren. Maybe I was playing on like a glitch patch or something? However, unfortunately for me, this luck did not transfer over to the last batch, and the onslaught of enemies finally appeared. Oh, nice. It's over. It's over. And for surviving that hellhole, I'm giving the incredible prize of... Get out of here. Get out of here. Give me the needle. Give me the needle. Cheat! Yeah, not exactly what you want to see. With only one life elixir drank, I head down to the 23rd floor, which contains the next boss of the run, Snake Guy. This boss is pretty hard, but definitely easier in comparison to the previous bosses. His main move is this one where he charges at you full force and does a ton of damage, unless you slash him away at the last second. I had a ton of close calls in this fight, but luckily had enough life elixirs saved to charge on through. With that snaky guy defeated, we head on down to the next shop. And this shop is very important, as the boss that lies beyond this is the hardest part of the run. This was the forbidden boss that had killed me so many times and ended so many of my runs. An evil, twisted being said to be used for psychological warfare on only the most perverse souls. God, I hate this thing. To prepare for this horror, I pick up the Swift perk from Guild. This will make me 10% faster, which helps loads in dodging. Now onto the shop. Not only is this the last shop before Satan Incarnate, but this is the last shop before the Forge, which means whichever weapon I have here are probably going to be the ones I use for the rest of the run. The pressure is on as I right-click into the menu. I needed that Iridium needle. That would be basically necessary into catapulting me to victory. I open that shop and... yeah, it's just a bunch of dumb swords. I take a heavy sigh and load up on some other lower level goodies. I grab my last allotted Iridium milk, some Dragon Scale boots for defense, an Aquamarine ring to give me 10% chance to crit, and finally a Phoenix ring. A Phoenix ring will revive you from the dead once per run. I don't feel great about this run. This is kind of falling off in the last half, but we'll see how we do. We approach the next chunk of floors, and these are now the Dangerous Mines themed levels, which means squids. I do not like the squids. The squids are evil. Stop moving like that. I do not like it. After a full floor of dealing with the evil squiddies, I make it down to the Forge, which means it's time for me to commit to the Galaxy Dagger. Look, girl. I know we had our ups and downs. I know you weren't my first choice, but let's just try and get along. It's me and you to the bitter end, baby girl. Have some critical strike chance. Take some extra damage. Take some defense. I guess. And despite my hesitations, the Galaxy Dagger proves itself very useful and starts tearing through enemies. So many crits. Oh my god, all he did was put one ring on it. Jesus Christ. Or one Aquamarine, not one ring. With newfound confidence, I make it all the way down to floor 29, or as I like to call it, Hell. Because this is the lair of Odys, the Hive Mother. Is it Odys? Odyssey? This thing sucks, is what I'm trying to say. The amount of runs that I have lost to this stupid bug. Basically, she goes around the map and lays eggs. These eggs hatch 10,000 of the worst enemy in the game. And she does this every 5 seconds. Soon enough, you'll be swarmed by a million little bugs. Oh, not bad enough? Well, guess what? They strapped fucking bombs to them. For some godforsaken reason, these things explode sometimes. Isn't that just awesome? It's for these reasons that Odys is by far the hardest part of this entire mod. The biggest way to counter Satan is to slash her eggs before she can lay them. If you even attack her a single time while she's laying, she will not lay the egg. Luckily, the Swift perk that I received this run is a huge help in being able to catch up with Odie's pace, as otherwise you're just too slow to be able to catch up to her. I have to take intentional damage constantly in order to catch her before the egg lays. Despite all my efforts and the fact that I'm moving 10% faster, the battle is still extremely close. Get out of here, you jerk. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Come on. Come on. We're so close. Okay, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Okay. Where's the way down? Oh, I have to kill all these guys, duh. Okay. Now we're cooking with something. Yes! I had finally beaten the evil Odys, and with a life elixir to spare as well. It was at this point I knew this could be the run to go all the way. I've had very few runs go past Odys, so I was extremely nervous, but I believed this could be the time I surpassed Concerned Ape. The shop here was pretty boring. Once again, I just grabbed some life elixirs and head down to the next section. This layer is based on the forest section of the Dangerous Mines, and I'll be honest, my experience playing in the Dangerous Mines is just about zero because, I mean, when's the last time I played Stardew Valley normally on this channel? On floor 32, I have a particularly close call when the game decides to throw just a million enemies at me. I don't know why I thought that was gonna help, but it didn't. Everything that happened there was bad. Luckily, through tactful dagger slices, I'm able to make my way through the next floor. After a couple uneventful floors, I make it all the way down to floor 35, which puts me against Hachi, the queen bee. Man, this haunted chocolatier alpha is looking a little weird. This is such a bad show. Hachi is the run killer of my previous furthest run, so I've never actually beaten her before. Safe to say, I am very nervous. In terms of Hachi, I'm like just 99% sure they just stole this from Terraria, because this thing has the exact same attack pattern as that game's queen bee. Zoom around the map, spawn some bees, shoot some stingers, so on and so forth. While it sounds easy on paper, this thing's attack pattern is so insanely erratic, and it moves so fast, and it hits like a truck, which makes Hachi a true terror to deal with. Not today. Oh, no. Oh, come on. I'm just trying to focus B. Just try to focus the queen. Come on. We're so close. Oh my god. Oh, shove it down your throat. Oh my god. Oh my god, right in front of her. Come on. Oh, yes. Okay, we could just kill all these guys. Did not think I was gonna have to use my last elixir there, but c'est la vie. I did it. I had to use every single bit of food and health I had to do it, but Hachi was slain, and I was now in completely new territory, past the point that I had never been before. I had no clue what I was doing from here on in, so I was just gonna have to hope that my build and my general Stardew knowledge would carry me to victory. And with just 10 floors left until I beat Concerned Ape's record, I knew I had to prosper on to victory. And at this shop, they finally offer me the Iridium Needle. Took you long enough, Marlin. But at this point, with all the forge buffs I put on my Galaxy Dagger, I decide it's not worth 1000 G. Instead, I pick up the Slammer. If you're wondering why the shop is offering endgame swords and daggers, but only the Slammer for clubs, it's because hammers are really good. If you don't know, if you spam click while using the club special attack, it will trigger the attack tons of times, allowing you to easily deal with a swarm of enemies. While its poor amount of damage won't let it be my endgame weapon, it will be great for crown control on these next couple floors. Confident about my decision to choose a Slammer, I head on to the next floor. Can we get the slingshot? What, there's another forge? What, I didn't know that. Oh, what? Okay, well now I don't feel so confident about it. If I had known there was going to be another forge, I definitely would have abandoned my Galaxy Dagger and gone with the Iridium Needle, but oh well, what are you gonna do? I fuse some rings and head down to floor 38. This part is the gold levels of the Dangerous Mines, which, once again, I don't know what I'm doing here, man. Oh my god. I got so out of sorts, I completely lost. Hate that. On floor 39, we're given the Gauntlet level, which, survive and kill all the monsters, but what if I don't wanna? I was lucky to have gotten this floor so late in my run, where I can have access to a hammer, though, as the swarm of enemies that spawn during this can quickly become overbearing, so the Slammer was huge in me getting through this. It takes a long time to kill the enemies once they swarmed up, but for all my hard work and effort, I'm rewarded with an emerald ring. Not what I needed. Not at all what I needed. After that disappointment, I quickly barrel down the rest of the floors in this section and get to my first blind boss of the run, Ozul the Shadow King. And he's he's doing a lot of things. Way too many things. He's shooting arrows, and sometimes when you hit him, he's a bomb, and sometimes he's not. And he's performing wizardry, and he's got these other spells, which all of this was already overwhelming enough. But then in his second phase, he starts spawning whatever this is. Absolutely not. What the flying hell was that? Oh no. Absolutely not. Okay, well, this is just stupid. This is not. What am I even looking at? Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, just go ahead. Spawn in a million enemies. Yeah, that seems fair. Just go ahead. Okay, thanks, man. It takes a while for me to get a grasp on what he's actually doing during this phase, and I end up sustaining huge amounts of damage without really damaging him much further. Then, when he gets to a quarter HP, they were like, hey, let's just give him a third phase. Why not? And now, he moves like twice as fast, and the Legion of Archers now shoot heat-seeking missiles. Just cause. Good luck! After trying to fight back for a little bit, I can't take much more of this. Attacks are coming at me from every single angle, and my HP is draining fast. His HP is looking decently low as well, so I decide it's time to go in for a rush attack. I take my dagger in my hand, and I go in, knives a-blazing. I fire off my special, but I'm stuck against a wall. I see no way out. I accept my demise. I run straight towards Azul, and I die. But luckily, I immediately come back to health using the Phoenix Ring I bought earlier. This allows me to finish out the fight and use my last life elixir to power through this boss and venture on to the next floor. I've now made it to the last stage of the game. There's only 5 floors left until I beat Eric Barone at his own game. 5 floors until I surpass the very creator of Stardew Valley. But with limited food and no longer having my Phoenix Ring insurance, I'm going to have to be extremely careful. One wrong step and this run is over. Tensions are high as I spend my very limited funds on all the food that I can afford and head down to the next floor. This section is based on the dangerous version of Skeleton Caverns. Luckily, I have more experience with this than the normal dangerous mines, but more experience does not necessarily translate to good at game. On floor 44, I am finally given the slingshot. God, that took so long. You're guaranteed to get a slingshot at some point throughout your run on this shooting range floor. It just so happened for me that it took a really long time. The slingshot is a super risky tool. It allows you to fire off powerful long-range attacks, but while using it, you're completely defenseless to everything around you, leaving you open for attacks. She's a dangerous weapon to only be used in the most dire of circumstances. I get to floor 46 and Haboo himself has come to spectate me and tells me I'm about to enter the final floor of the dungeon. Floor 47. That means whatever's on that next floor, Concerned Ape wasn't able to beat. Whatever lies beyond this staircase bested the very creator of this game, and I am determined to surpass that. With my heart pounding, I start to approach the final boss of our challenge. Nadith the Extinct. It is a big dino. Nadith starts off this duel to the death by firing off a million fireballs, which, could not be more terrifying. And immediately after, she fires off another wave. How am I ever supposed to get in there? These fireballs are flying past so quickly. Not to mention she has this fire whip move to destroy any who dare get close to her. And to top it all off, there are dragons in the lava shooting fireballs at you. Safe to say, this is hard. I run past her once and take a huge chunk of contact damage, and I'm forced to use my last salad, leaving only 3 life elixirs remaining. I know that I cannot survive for much longer. I'm doing a pretty good job at dodging her attacks, but each attack hits me like a truck. It's at this point that I must accept something. Accept that I am going to lose this fight. There's simply no way I can keep up with Nadith and still deal damage. I know that my timer is ticking down. Every second dodging is a second bringing me closer to death. With my timer ticking down, I look within myself and decide I must do what it is I do best, and that is to cheese. I take my slingshot and fill it with all of the gold ore that I've been collecting from the past couple floors. If you don't know, ore does massive amounts of damage when placed in a slingshot, like lots more than just normal stones. With this slingshot loaded up, I can just sit here and fire all day long. I just hide on the other side of the map, lobbing gold at Nadith, avoiding the occasional fireball or two, and slowly whittle Nadith's HP down. By the time I run out of gold ore ammo, I have successfully whittled Nadith's HP all the way down to here. And I can already hear your comments now. Well, Shawny, you actually suck at Stardew Valley. If you were a true gamer, you would have just used your dagger. I know this. I have no honor. I realized this long ago, and you should have too. With only a sliver of HP remaining, I decided it was time to switch to the 100 pieces of stone that I had saved from throughout this run. The progress with these is much slower, and I'm even forced to use my first life elixir here. Now it's just a pure battle between our 2 projectiles, eternally battling it out, slowly whittling away the other. And... okay, come on, we're so close. This is such a cheese way of doing it, but I don't give a single crud. I could care less. It is like 12:18 in the morning, 12:26. Come on, we're right there. We're right there. I had done it. I had successfully surpassed Concerned Ape and beaten the hardest Stardew Valley mod to ever be created. I can't believe I had actually done better than Stardew's creator at his own game. I really enjoyed playing this mod, and honestly some of the most fun I've had playing Stardew Valley in a very long time. If you want to check out the mod for yourself, there's a link in the description down below. Thank you guys all for watching, and I'll see you all next time. And Concerned Ape, please still give me 100 chocolate to your early access even though I beat your record, please.